Hi guys, I'm going to show you a quick recording of how to sew your glove. So just for some information, things that are common mistakes. So first what I did is I cut out my hand. So the hand that I did before, I cut it out. Some things that I want you to pay attention to is this space right here. You want it, right? You want the glove to be able to fit over your wrist. But I want you to think about, this is the part that you also need the rest of your hand to get into. So a lot of people made this part really narrow, and then they couldn't get their hand actually into the glove. So that's a problem. So this is the part you want to make a good amount wider, not the size of your hand. But you do want more or less your hands. And the other part that was really hard for people is their fingers. So notice how, again, when you sew, you're going to take up a lot of the space and you can't fit your fingers into the glove. That's going to be a big problem. So you want to make what you actually sew much bigger than the hand that you cut out. So this is your template, and you're going to make it much bigger. So each of your fingers should be sewed like around here, like much, much bigger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of fabric. So let's say from my design before, this was gray wool. I just don't happen to have any of the materials that you guys have. But this is the gray wool. I have it folded in half. So on one side, so pretty much both of these will be the outsides of my glove. Then what I'm going to do is any other material. So for me, I think I said space blanket plus pink fuzzy fabric. So let's just pretend that this is the space blanket. I just cut out some paper just to let you guys know. But let's pretend that this is space blanket. What I would do is wherever my finger is going to be, I would put it on one side of the wool and then on the other side of the wool. And then I would do the same thing with my fuzzy pink fabric. If that's going to be the part that's closest to my finger, then that's going to be fuzzy pink fabric on both sides. And again, as I mentioned, I'm okay with you guys just doing a single finger since that's all you're going to actually be testing. So just one finger of extra material is perfectly fine, and then the rest of the glove is just made of one material. That's up to you. So let's say that this is what I do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the rest of my hand print here. So I would be doing something like this, except that this needs to match up to where my index finger is, right? So I would do something like this. And then I'm going to go around and I'm going to pin that. So let's see if I can. All right, so now I've gone through and I have pinned it. So I just want to show you what that looks like. So I've pinned my outline. Plus underneath you can see that was what I said was my space blanket is right there. And then on the outside I also have that space blanket. And for you guys, if you had 3 layers, you would put one more layer there, one more layer behind that as well. And now you would sew. And again, I want to remind you that to sew, you want to make it as big as possible around each of the fingers. Because what was happening with students before is they couldn't fit their fingers into the holes. So what you want to do is with each of these fingers, you want to make sure that you have plenty of space. So you want to sew nice and wide around each finger so that you can actually fit your finger in. So you don't need to have access to all of your fingers. You don't have to get all the way down here. It's okay if you're stopping up here. It will make it nicer if you go a little bit deeper in. Hopefully that helps. Please ask me questions along the way.